Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. My name is Dion and today I'm going to be talking about the Solrise competition Dawn, which stands for the Decentralized Asset Winners Network. What it is essentially is just a fund, like a hedge fund, that you can start using the Solana blockchain on this project called Solrise. Dawn is just the name of the competition. I'm going to be going through my investments or my performance in this competition, and then I'm going to be looking at the top spots and seeing what we're doing different because my performance compared to the top guys, it's a whole nother level. I was aiming for top one, like, you know, I wouldn't aim for anything less than the top spot, but it's actually ridiculous, the performance with these guys. Like, I saw the numbers, it blew my mind, it was ridiculous. So I want to use this video as an opportunity to go through the competition, show you guys what it's all about, the platform itself, my performance, and let's go in and see how the other people are trading. So here on the screen we have my fund, DD Capital. That's just my initials, and yeah, there's the numbers. We started off with $50,000 and we have about 2 weeks to run it up as much as we can. Currently, I'm up 10%, which I am personally very happy with. I've only been in the competition for 2 days. So, you know, 10% in 2 days is not that bad. So let's go through and see what's happening with my stats first. So fund value, 55K. I don't think I have any investors besides myself. So I have no investors. So with this platform, because it's a fund, you know, you need like investors invest in the fund. I currently have none, but these top guys have a lot. But we'll go through my stuff first. So let's go through my fund composition first. These are the tokens which I'm interested in, and these are the ones which I'm currently invested in. So we have USDC. That's what we got airdropped. We got 50,000 USDC, and from that we get to like swap the funds around and make our purchases, this and that. I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, Solana, Serum, and Thorchain. I also have DOT and FTX, but I'm not actually invested in them at the moment. So I'm not going to go too in depth about why I chose these, but to keep it simple, these are just some coins which I have in my personal portfolio. So you can see the percentages here. It's quite clear which ones I'm more interested in. I really like Thorchain and I really like Solana. Serum has a high percentage too, but the biggest ones is Thorchain and Solana. They are, roughly a quarter of the fund each. So I still do have some leftover funds which I have not invested, and that's just because I like to keep a portion of my portfolio sort of like loaded ammo. So if I see an opportunity, I can fire the shot and take it. There's nothing worse than using all your capital and then a really nice opportunity comes along and you can't take it because you didn't keep that reserve. So that's what that 1% is for. So yeah, that's a very basic rundown. The way I'm doing it is I'm trading exactly how I trade on my accounts. So the reason why I chose these tokens is because these are the tokens which I'm in for the long run. But this fund only lets us, like, it's a 2-week competition. So obviously I need to trade a little bit differently. So I've got my investments in, I'm up 10%. So now let's go look at the top guys and see what they're doing differently. So here we have, Dawn, so we'll go over to here. It's just the main landing page we were on earlier. We have the leaderboards and all the funds. So let's go into the leaderboards and see these ridiculous numbers. So you see, top spot, D-Mark, he's up 114% in 2 days. This is 2 days. This guy is up 114%. Let's see what he's doing. So D-Mark, what's he invested in? So these are a couple of the coins he's in, but you can see he's actually got nothing invested at the moment. It's all in USDC. Now, what does that tell us? It means that he must have had his investments already in, like he was already in certain positions, and once they hit a certain point or he had enough profit from that position, he took it out, swapped it back to USDC, which is like the stable coin, and just waiting on that. That won't fluctuate in price very much, so he's keeping that there. So here, it pretty much tells us like the distribution of his fund and how it changes. So first off, we see he went all in on Sol. indicated, but you can see where it says Sol, and then it's got 14k, so there's Sol, and then from Sol, he took it out and swapped it to BCH, which is a Binance coin. Oh no, sorry, I think it's Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, it's Bitcoin Cash. And then from there, he took the funds out of that, went back to USDC. So now he's just waiting. He made his profits, then he saw an opportunity in Sol. So he put all his money back into Sol. So we can see what he's doing just by hovering. You know, he's always only invested in one asset at a time. So what he's doing is he's finding the opportunity, going all in, taking his profits, moving it back into the stablecoin and waiting. Sees an opportunity, all in, takes his profits and out. That's this guy's entire strategy. And it's obviously working really well for him. He's obviously an experienced trader, more so on the short term. So he knows how to move his funds strategically, swap it around to get the maximum gains. So that's what he's doing. So let's go back to the leaderboards. Now, my goal is to get into the top 100, but we can see here, this is the 100th spot. They are even up 27%. That's more than double, nearly triple what I'm on at the moment. So let's look at these guys. Luke Moore, I don't know how to pronounce their name, but yeah. So he's up, they are up 27%. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, so they found one coin called Cope. Cope is another coin which is based on the Solana blockchain. It's pretty much like a leaderboard based on people's trades on Twitter. So, you know, you go on social media, you go, this is the trade I took, this is the trade I took. Cope is pretty much scans through all your claims, all your trades, and pretty much makes a leaderboard based on the Twitter traders. And this guy just went all in on this coin and has just been holding it. So they've just been holding the one coin and they're in the 100th spot. So I'm not going to say that's good. I'm not going to say that's bad. But what they are doing has worked and they made a good investment because all they had to do is invest in one coin and in 2 days they're up 27%. That's not bad at all. Alright, so let's go on to the second spot. Iceberg. What's Iceberg doing? So Iceberg is up 80%, which is, again, ridiculous. It's really good. So we can see here they invested in Sol, then from Sol down to Bitcoin Cash, then Bitcoin Cash back to the USDC. And then they're doing the same thing. It looks like the first and second place, so DMark and Iceberg are using a very similar, if not the exact same strategy from what I can see. They find the opportunity, all in, take their profits, they're out. Wait for the opportunity, all in, take the profits out. Now, the reason why this works so well is because when you all in, obviously you can get a much larger profit margin as opposed to only investing 10% here, 10%, 20% there, which is sort of what I'm doing because that's all I know. That's how I trade normally. That's my, by nature, that is how I will trade crypto. But seeing as this competition, like I mentioned, only lasts 2 weeks, these people are using the correct, well, an effective strategy, which is obviously working very well. So yeah, they're only invested in like one thing at a time. So I may try that, although I'm not very experienced with that method of trading. But this competition is it's a really good opportunity to learn something new, to try. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm here to learn. I'm not here to just, come win and leave without learning anything. I want to try something new, so I feel like that is something I'm going to try. It may affect my performance, but hey, this is just a competition. I'm not losing any money. Like, what I'm more focused on is what I can get out of it in the end for the long term. So the skill, the experience, learning new lessons, this and that. Let's just go on to bongs, cause bongs. So bongs is up 65%, and let's see, are they doing the same thing? Yeah, they are. You can see, I'll go through slowly, USDC, and then they've moved their funds from USDC to Sol, then from Sol back. And it's mainly Bitcoin Cash and Sol, to be honest, are the top performers from what we've seen so far. So there's nothing new here. I feel like that's how these guys are able to get such massive returns. Let's just go into the 50th spot because it's sort of in the middle of... So Fun Fund. Fun Fund is up 32%. And Fun Fund looks to be doing the same thing, except for here you see they have a position in Sol and in Rune, and then Rune, Sol, and Rune. So it's that same strategy of placing majority of your capital in, reaping the profits, taking it out. Now, hey, if that works, that works. But I want to do this seriously in the future, and if I was to actually run a fund, that is not a way I would do things, just because that's super risky. Because I mean, if it's working really well because Sol and Rune at the moment are actually doing really well. But if it was in a choppy market and you were to take a loss, that you would take a big loss, because when you put in so much of your capital, yes, when price moves up, you can make a shit ton of money, but when price moves down, you can also lose a shit ton of money. It's the equivalent of like when you're trading forex, of just using massive lot sizes. Yeah, you can chuck on like 20 lots and make, you know, hundreds of dollars just with a few pips movement. But if it moves to the downside, then it's the same thing, but you lose the money instead. So with Solrise, they have the funds, and now with Dawn, this competition, there's two competitions actually. There's a competition for the fund managers, which is what we're going through now and what I'm doing myself. And there's also a competition for investors. So they get given, I think, $1,000 or $10,000, and they get the list of these investors, and they just allocate their funds to different funds, and depending on how that performs, and that's how they make their money. So let's go into DMark again, because he's the top performer. If we go onto his list of investors, he's got over 7,000 investors. 7,070 to be exact. So not only is he making money from like the profits, he's actually got over 7,000 people backing his fund, and he's making these investors so much money as well. You can see the share which they're all in, and I wonder if we can go into... Nah, okay, we can't view the actual, like, how much money they're making. But yeah, you can see how much they've invested in him. He's obviously making them a shit ton of returns because he's up over 100%. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video, to be honest. I feel like it was a nice, clean, quick, simple video. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just went through it all. It's really interesting to see. We obviously know what's working and how the top performers are trading, and you know how I'm trading and what the differences are. I'm trading how I usually trade, which is thinking about the long term in the next couple years, which is obviously much more slow growth. And these guys are they're just very high performers. They're going all in. They're more so like the scalping. They're not the scalp. Like, they're more like scalpers. They're in and out of positions. They're doing the swaps and just catching these short-term moves. So that's working really well for them. I'm not going to use that as an excuse to say that's why. I'm not going to use that as an excuse and say like, oh, I didn't win because they're being risky. Like, if you want to win, then you have to outperform people. That's how they're outperforming me. So hey, I'm taking that L to them. So I'm only like 3 days in, so I can still change the way I trade and adjust to the conditions to try and get myself into that top 100, and that's what I really want. So I need to double my performance. I need to do it smart. I'm going to avoid the greed. I need to really think it out and do this properly. So I've still got 2 hours until I go to work. So I might devise a strategy or something, and I'll make an updated video and post it maybe later tonight or tomorrow. But besides that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a little bit more about Solrise and Dawn, and I'll catch you in the next one.